Hello everyone, JJIR here, and in this video we're going to see how to move students that chose that they were professors in Google Classroom when they started off back to being students. And let's presuppose in the opposite case that a professor accidentally clicked on students when they actually should be professors. So we're going to see how to move these around. It is unfortunate that this has to be done only by administrators. So, if you are a professor or a student that needs to change your category, so to speak, then you need to ask the person in charge of the admin console in your school to do this movement. So, essentially, we're going to go here to the Google Waffle here, and we're going to go down to the admin console that's here. And the first thing I want to show you guys is this in groups here. We have to find the classroom group. There's a special group in the admin console, which is going to be something like classroom. And as you can see, when I do this, then we have something that says classroom teachers. And this is in English how this group is going to come out. So if I click on that, that's going to bring up the classroom teachers group. So anyone who should be a professor should actually be in this group. So the Google administrator needs to come in here and actually add that person. So I go to add members here, and then I would click on the plus here, and then I'm going to find the person I need to add. So here, for example, I have one that says Prof. JGIR, so we're going to click on that and add that one to the group. So when I do that, presupposing that this was indeed a professor, after I add this person, then that person needs to refresh Google Classroom, and then that will allow that person to start creating classes. So in Google Classroom, when I go here to the plus sign in the upper right-hand corner, it'll allow us to create a class. So this will come out after I add the professor to this group. So even if you don't see it here, funny thing with Google Admin Console, you sort of have to refresh it to see changes that you made. So when this professor comes out here, then that person who before did not have this option here will have the option to create a class. Now, you don't have to go to the group necessarily. You can actually find the person and add them to that group. So let's just say I go to the user itself. And if I go down to groups and I click on this, here, as you can see, I have classroom teachers. But if it wasn't there, I could actually go to the user, click on the plus sign, and add classroom here to the professor that needs to be a professor in Google Classroom, and that will also allow that professor automatically to enter into the classroom teachers group and open up classes and create classes here with the create class button here under the plus sign. So let's go back to this example. We're under the user again. And let's say that this wasn't a professor and this person should not be a teacher. Then by the same method, we're going to go back to the user. We would go down to groups again. We would select classroom teachers, and then we click on remove. When we do this, getting rid of that, then automatically when the student goes back to classroom and refreshes, then this create class option will be deleted and not be present. And that's the easiest way of fixing this problem in relationship to students and teachers being in the opposite group. Now, just a small side note, let's say that your admin console started off with Spanish or another language. It's very important to understand that unfortunately, when it is created, when the admin console is first created, it will create this group in relationship to the language that was first used. So, for example, in some of my admin consoles, I have classroom teachers as something different. So as you can see here, this says classroom teachers, but unfortunately, in some of the admin consoles, I actually have them as these two options here. We have some that come out as profesores classroom with an underscore here. So very similar to this, but classroom comes as a second word with an underscore, with profesores coming first. And then I have other admin consoles that are also in Spanish, but are still different, meaning that instead of classroom, they come out as clase, with an underscore with professores being first. So it's important that even if you don't find the group in English, it may have been the case that the admin console was first opened up in another language, and therefore you have to start looking for something that has either classe or classroom or something like that, so that you can find the group that you need in order to add it to the professors or get rid of it from the students. And in that way, you'll be able to resolve the problem even when you don't find the classical classroom teachers group. So just keep that in mind, and you should be able to resolve this problem that's very common now of the students jumping as professors or the professors accidentally clicking on the thing that they are students. So I hope this video helped. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description below. Subscribe if you liked it. Click that like button. If you need anything else, let me know. Take care.